Welcome back to another video. On a roll here, I'm going to pump out a few videos today. Let's talk about the topic of interview questions. I've seen this question come up quite a bit. Hey everybody, I've got an interview coming up for such and such position. What kind of technical questions can I expect? And I just want to tell you folks that that is a very difficult question to answer, okay? And the reason being is because there's a few reasons, all right? The first reason being is that every employer has a different methodology for the way that they conduct interviews, okay? They all have a different way of asking questions. They all have their different, a different list of questions. They all have a different definition of job roles. So, for example, a systems analyst or a systems administrator, right? Those different job roles are different across all different companies. You see what I'm saying? I said the word different like 3 times in that sentence. But that's just the way it is. They all have their own way of determining, okay, well, this guy's a system admin, this guy's a network admin, this one's a help desk technician, this one's a systems analyst, right? And so they all have their own way, their own questions, and all that kind of stuff. The second is, which is kind of related to the first, is the qualifications for that particular job opening. Again, they might be different qualifications for the same title across different companies, right? So to ask somebody who's in the field like myself for questions, what kind of questions to be expecting, is really difficult. Now, of course, I can give you some of the basics, right, to expect, but you should pretty much already know that based on your current situation. Okay, so your background, your education, and so typically, here's what I would say, right? I would say that you need to read through the entire job description with the qualifications and the expectations of you. Go through every single thing they list out there, okay? And just kind of go down the list. Make check marks as you go through each one, saying, okay, I understand this, I don't understand this, I understand this. And study up on those particular topics. And know the fundamentals and the basics of those topics. That's the best way that I can help you to prepare for those types of interviews. All right. Now, I did an entire video on how to prepare for an interview, but it has nothing to do with the technical side. So the first step would be to watch that video, because the tips in there are gold, okay? If you do those things right, you will be 90% of the way through the interview. In other words, you will kill the interview, you'll crush it. You'll crush 90% of the interview just if you can learn and apply those tips that I put in that one. Now, as far as the technical side, I've said this before, that most employers don't expect you to know everything, okay? Obviously, you need to know the basics and the fundamentals, just like I said. So, again, if you're applying for a job and you do not understand the basics and the fundamentals of at least 75% of what they're asking, then you probably aren't qualified to apply for that job. And I would say between 50 and 75%, because most employers are ridiculous They just have a laundry list of stuff that you should understand and know. And the reality is that we can't possibly do everything that they list out. And the IT manager typically will understand that. It's the HR department and the other people that make up those list of qualifications that don't get it, okay? And that's why people fear applying for jobs, because they see this huge laundry list of stuff that they're expected to know, and they're like, holy crap, I don't know half of this stuff, right? But if you can understand the basics of at least half to 75% of that, then I think you should apply for the job and really know how to tackle questions that come your way. And listen, I want to tell you, don't be scared to say I don't know in an interview, right? Because the truth is we don't know everything. And if you try to lie, if you try to fabricate answers to stuff that you don't know, if you are interviewing with especially a panel of people, they will see right through it, and you'll be done. Before the interview's over, you'll be done. You'll be off their list. So you need to be authentic with the way that you present yourself, and just tell them, you know what, this is what I know about this topic, and that's about it. However, I can find the answers when I need them. That's like the golden tip right there, okay? Is how do you find the answers that you need to address certain issues? So don't lie, don't fabricate, don't make up stuff. Just tell them straight out, I've never worked with that product. I've heard of it, but I'm not familiar enough to answer that question, okay? So you need to be very professional about how you address those types of how you create your response to those questions to the interviewees, right? So anyways, I hope that helps you out. It's again, it's a tough question to answer as somebody who's been in the industry. There are probably a bunch of articles out there that you can find with sample questions. You know what? Maybe someday I'll come up with some kind of PDF with a bunch of canned generic questions to expect based on what I know, what my experience is. Maybe I'll do that someday and make it available. But anyways, hope that helps you out. Let me know, comments below. Answer, put your questions down there. I'll do my best to answer them and address them. You can send me a message as well. Thank you for watching, as always. I appreciate every single one of you. If this is your first time here, welcome. We'll talk to you here on the next video. See ya.